Hey everybody, and welcome to video 1. In this video, we are going to explore SQL Server Management Studio, aka SSMS. I'm going to show you some options and kind of the application that you'll be working with. We won't do any coding in this video. That would be for the next one. So I hope you enjoy, and I will see you soon. Alrighty, so as soon as you open SQL Server Management Studio, this will be the window you see. And essentially, this is asking you for your credentials, your username, password, or login information to connect to SQL Server itself. We are going to use the database engine for quite a while. There are other engines, but we can ignore these for now. The server name should be your computer name. If you do not see anything here, you can hit the drop down and hit browse for more unless you see it pop up. If you do not have a plus button right here, signifying that, hey, there is a SQL Server engine here, go ahead and click on network servers, and in quite a while, it will eventually find your SQL, your instance. So there we go. Then you can hit the plus button, click on your computer, hit OK. Authentication is going to be Windows authentication unless you know what you're doing and you already have a SQL login. So all you need to do, make sure all of that kind of lines up, hit connect, and we are logged into SQL Server. Now this window over here, Object Explorer, is an extremely important window. To compare it to something that you might be familiar with, the Windows Explorer, where we have all of our different folders, nested folders, and we have files in these folders. Now I have a ton of databases, and you won't have any except for the ones under system, but I want to show you kind of how these compare. So I would open the databases folder, I would go to my database, I would open the tables folder, I would have tables, and even these tables have folders and other things. But right now, what you should see, actually, I'm going to hit filter for the database Learn SQL. You shouldn't have anything here. Just under system databases, you'll have 4. So this Object Explorer, like I said, is very similar to my computer or Finder, the Windows Explorer or the Mac Finder, and is extremely important to us. So if at any point in time we lose it, it gets closed, we can go up to the top, hit View, and then open Object Explorer so we can get that window back. So I want to go over a couple of these buttons. There are a lot of them, but 10 years in the industry, I probably use half of them. So the very, very important buttons, the Open File button, which is going to allow you to open scripts that I give you. You can double click on the script, but staying in this application might help you maintain focus. We have the Save and Save As buttons, or Save and Save All buttons, definitely very important. Save your work frequently. And we have these 3 items. The New Query, this is where we're going to write all of our code. Now, this is very similar to Chrome or Internet Explorer. We can have tabs. So we can type whatever we want in each of these tabs, and we can also drag them around. And this will show you where we can cut the windows if you're ever comparing or you just want a different setup. So if you can see on my screen, I do have numbers, and this is the last thing I want to go over with is actually the options. Options are very important inside of any programming language when you're learning at all. You want to be comfortable in the environment that you're using. So if you go to the top, click on Tools, and hit Options, there are a couple of options in here that I want to go over with you. The first one is under Environment. In case it looks like this, double click on Environment and go to Fonts and Colors. Now we have Show Settings for Text Editor, which is this right here. And you want to adjust the size to make it, more readable for you. And under Text Editor, under this drop-down Text Editor, we have Grid Results. And that is going to be the size of text returned by SQL. Now I'm going to close this real quick. I will open it back up, but I will show you what I mean. Oh, right here. This is the grid results. I have made it 2 or 4 points larger because it is pretty small by default. So under options, environment, fonts, and colors. Text editor is for this window right here, and grid results is for this window right here. So I have mine set to 12, and I believe default is 8. The next couple of options will help me communicate to you and help us, be on the same page. Let's see. So under text editor, under Transact SQL, we want to make sure that line numbers is checkmarked. And this will allow me to just dictate to you, what number you should focus on. Like if I say line 6, then you'll be able to find line 6 on my screen and read that. By default, it's not enabled. And the last two, one of these options is in designers. By default, prevent saving changes that require table recreation is checked, and we want to uncheck mark that. There might be some things that we do that SQL really shouldn't care about. It will give you an error and prevent you from doing it. So let's go ahead and make sure that is unchecked. And finally, under SQL Server Object Explorer, there are these two options right here, edit top and select top. By default, it is 200 and 1000. So I added 2 zeros to each of these numbers. We will start using this feature in the next video, and it makes life easier if you increase that default. So if you want to do 20,000 and 100,000, I highly recommend that. So after you're done with your options, you can explore, but not a lot of these options mean anything in the very beginning. Go ahead and click OK, and that will sum up your introduction to SQL Server Management Studio. In the next one, we'll actually explore the tables themselves. You'll see a couple of new screens, and I hope you enjoy. Thank you for watching. Like and subscribe, and definitely please comment if you are frustrated or if you have any questions. I'd hate for you to, not pursue this learning endeavor because of that frustration, and I do want to answer any questions you have to try and motivate you to stick with learning SQL. So have a good one, and I will see you in the next video.